So for our project, we did ancient Egyptian religion. I'm Olivia. This is Gabby, with my fellow classmates Lexi and Dylan.
Okay, so we had evolution. Ancient Egyptian religion has changed as the importance of different gods increased or decreased. So we have Ra, which was the sun god, while the original god Amen was combined with him later on. We also have Osiris. His popularity increased, which also gave the common Egyptian folks increase in popularity as he was considered the democratic god. We also have the New Kingdom, which was when only one god, Aten, he was only worshipped, as Akhenaten was the pharaoh at the time, which was King Tut's father. And King Tut's original name, Tutankhamun, which means the living image of Aten. We also have the three different dynasties, which was what most people split the Egyptian religion history into, which was the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. During the Old and Middle Kingdoms, we have the major increase of afterlife importance, which was when your Great Pyramids, the Sphinx was built, that sort of thing. We also have the New Kingdom, which was Osiris's rise in popularity, and when most pharaohs foregoed superstructures such as the Great Pyramid for tombs underground.
History. Ancient Egyptian religion is based off polytheism, which is the belief in multiple gods. Egyptians followed a moral dogma, which is a system of values based off the gods expected from them, what they expected from them.
So this is an initial region. The religion itself was around before the city-state Egypt had formed. The Egyptian religion started in the current-day region of Egypt. It was previously named the Nile region. Without the Nile River, Egypt may have not become what it is considered one of the most remarkable civilizations in history. The fertile lands around the Nile benefited the people and allowed for many crops to be harvested and kept a good economy for it to grow and flourish. So these are the growths and splits. During the New Kingdom, the center of the religious activity shifted to Thebes, which promoted Amen. There's the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. During the Old Kingdom and Middle Kingdom, the importance of afterlife increased. In the New Kingdom, with Osiris' rise in popularity, pharaohs forgoed superstructures and had their tombs hidden underground.
Egyptian religion didn't change much in 3,000 years. It changed over time slightly. And however, the little changes were such as worships during different gods, or of different gods. The first written record of ancient Egyptian religion was found in 2400 BCE. The afterlife remained a very important aspect of the religion, and Roman religion started to be recognized when Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. Roman religion began to worship alongside ancient Egyptian religion, and Mark Antony, the last ruler of the Egypt, Cleopatra the VIII, was defeated in 30 BCE. Egypt became a Roman province, and Egypt kept practicing their own religion until Christianity became popular by 303 AD, and ancient Egyptian religion died.
Extremists. There are many cults that worship specific gods, but there was many gods, so it wasn't uncommon for most people to want other people to worship that other specific god. Pharaoh Akhenaten tried to convert all Egyptians to only worship one god, Aten.
The Ptolemaic dynasty was Alexander the Great took over Egypt and threw out the Persians. As he was very tolerant of the Egyptian religion and customs, they welcomed him and he ruled over the city of Alexandria. Alexander died and the Ptolemies came into power. They were fully Greek even though they decided to follow Egyptian gods and even took up the customs of inbreeding, which is marrying brothers and sisters. Ptolemy I and Ptolemy II were the only true competent rulers. The rest, even the famous Cleopatra VII, ruled by the power of Rome until Rome took
We have the expansion, and expansion pretty much just followed the different depending on who ruled, whether they were good or bad and how far they spread. We have a timeline which is King Min's, which was when he united the Upper and Lower Egypt, which was seen as a very important aspect of Egyptian time. We also have the beginning of the Old Kingdom and the age of the pyramids, and we have pyramids of Giza, and then the first intermediate period, which was sort of downtime-ish and expansion. And then we have the Middle Kingdom, which when they really began to expand. And then we go into the New Kingdom, which was considered the Golden Age, which was when most of the pharaohs, and we have the going into King Tut and his family.
Okay, some boat of Ra. People believe that Ra, the sun god, traveled on a boat to bring light to the world. So during the day, he would travel in the sky to bring light to the world, and then when night came, he traveled to the underworld to defeat the serpent Apep, the Lord of Chaos. And then he would come back up again to the sky and bring light. It's kind of like, it's a representation of day and night, and also death and rebirth.
Okay. It was pretty good. Why, looking at Egypt, it had the 3 dynasties, right?
Mhm.
How did the people's viewpoint of the pharaoh change from dynasty to dynasty?
At first, they were pretty much considered, or not, maybe not at first, but they were considered to be like divine. They were given the power of the gods, like, oh, this is our ruler, they're the god, we have to worship them. And then the gods were, of course, worshipped over them, but they were seen as like sort of the vessel of the god's power. And as it became later in time, the people sort of became more democratic and realized that, okay, we also have some power, and that the pharaoh's not as, like, he's not quite a god anymore. He's more, yes, he's our ruler, but not divine power.
Very good. Okay, why did Osiris rise in popularity?
There we have the mythical legend, which was Ra started to die away and he started to lose power, and Osiris became more powerful as he was seen as the god of the dead, and people really worshipped the afterlife. That was such an important thing to them. So his rise in power came. He was also seen as the democratic god. Like, many people started like, oh, we should follow him. He will give us more power, and this goings ons of the state.
Okay, very good. When we're talking about the kingdoms again, I guess I'm picking on you today. We're talking about the kingdoms, and it says that the tombs initially, you had the pyramids. Why did they move them underground?
As Osiris was the god of the afterlife, and he was seen as underground. Like, there was also the problem of tomb raiders, and they wanted to keep all their very valuables safe. But because he was seen to be underground, they thought, okay, maybe we should have our tombs underground as to be closer with him.
Very good. Any questions?
No, I'm very impressed.
Me too. Okay, good job, guys.
Yeah.